Hey, my name's James Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about asking prices. Where are they currently sitting? Because there's been a big change this month in asking prices. And it's really important that we look at this data because asking prices give us an early indication of market sentiment. What are sellers feeling? Are they feeling they want to sell quickly, or are they holding out for high prices like they have been for the last year or so? This video, I'm going to break down what is going on in that market, how that impacts house prices going forward, and much, much more. So before we jump into this, as always, if you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We're nearly at 30,000 subscribers. We could hit it this week and you might be the 30,000th subscriber. And while you're here, let's get some more views on the content by smashing like, tickling like, do something to that like button. That helps with the YouTube algorithm and gets more views on the channel. So thanks to everyone that does that. So, asking prices. These have a place. All the data we talk about on this channel has a place. And it gives us an overall picture on what's happening in the market. So we talk house price data, we talk nationwide data, we talk Halifax data. We give you that each and every month, and that's important. That's their house price data. We also look at the ONS, the Office of National Statistics. That data is the ultimate data. That is the real consolidated data that includes cash buyers, mortgage properties, and everything. And we also like to look at the Rightmove data. Now, this is asking prices and this is newly listed properties, but they really do have a place because what we saw last month was asking prices were down. Well, this month they're back up and they're considerably back up. And I've been looking forward to this data because over the last week or so, I've made a video where I've talked about there's a ton of buy-to-let investors that are selling their properties at the moment. And that's down to the Renters' Rights Bill. It's down to potentially capital gains being increased in March, stamp duty going up. That will impact the person that they will probably sell to. There's lots of stuff that mean that people want to get into the market right now. Now, also, you've got an influx of buyers at the moment. So we had an increase significantly of sellers and buyers at the moment. I'm going to tell you what that transaction, what that equates to in this video as well. So let's have a little discussion about this. So we've got Rightmove data today. Asking prices are important. I know in the comments someone's going to say that's the asking price, but it still shows what someone is trying to achieve. It shows how desperate they are. If you've got 100 grand property and you need to get a quick sale because you need 50 grand to pay off a credit card debt or a failed business, you're probably not going to list at 100 grand. You'll probably list at 90 or 80 to get that fast sale. Sellers at the moment aren't doing that. The average asking price at the moment is £370,759. That's the average asking price. It's close to the peak that was September 2022. Now, this is up 1% up since August data. So what that shows is this influx of sellers, buy-to-let landlords, just people that want to sell as well. The market sentiment is better at the moment. Now, there's also buyers to match this as well. That's important because, look, if 25% more people look to sell their properties and there's not lots of buyers, which we had some data that said that there wasn't at one stage, but it seems like the buyers are coming back into the market now. That means that we're not likely to see a crash in property. If we have thousands and thousands and thousands of properties listed, but no buyers on the other end, those sellers are going to have to drop price in order to get the sales themselves. And so we've seen an influx of buyers, an influx of sellers now, and they're kind of matching up, which is good. So there's more activity in the market. Now, there are 27% more sales agreed in the last month than this time last year. So that's also shows that transactions are being done. Because you can list your house and hope that someone buys it, but we want to see transactions done. And transactions are very important for a lot of businesses. You've got to think estate agents, solicitors, mortgage brokers, lenders. Mortgage lenders have been trying to stimulate the market with rate cuts recently, and that's been really, really important to them to get that market moving and everything moving along nicely. So this data shows that there is more activity in the market. That data there, you can't get from anybody else. So it's important that we see this data and see that there is stuff happening. Now, Rightmove is saying that a lot of this stuff started happening around when the Bank of England cut they cut their base rate from 5.25% to 5% on the 1st of August. Now, there's also a lot of positivity about mortgage rates. So lending has been slow, mortgage companies have been quiet, and so they've been cutting rates quite aggressively over the last 2 months in order to get people to take deals from them and start buying properties again. And it seems like that has started to work. There's also a lot going on this week that will get the market potentially moving even more. We've got the Federal Reserve. They've got their meeting on Wednesday this week. We'll know, have they cut interest rates? I think we know it's guaranteed they're going to cut rates, but are they going to cut 0.25% or 0.5%? Now, if they cut 1/4, that means probably the next few cuts that they've got will stay at 1/4, because otherwise it will show that they're overreacting. So if they cut 1/4, then the next one will likely be 1/4, and the third cut will probably be 1/4 as well. If they cut 1/2, they'll probably cut half, 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 half. So that will show how quick they're going to go down with rates. If they cut 0.5%, that means the Bank of England are also more likely to have a cut maybe in October, maybe in November. We're not going to be waiting too much longer for them to cut again, and it gives them permission to do that. And that's important. We want to see the Bank of England moving rates down. We want to see the Federal Reserve moving rates down, because right now they're restrictive. People are feeling more pain than they need to. Inflation, while it's not beaten, it's definitely much better than it was. And you've got to look on the horizon. Potentially you've got some deflation coming in from China, and that's really bad news, because if you get deflation, jobs will get cut faster than you can imagine. It is really not a great scenario that we would be in then. So look, interesting week this week. That's a reason to subscribe if you haven't done already. We've got the Bank of England meeting this week. We've got the inflation data this week. We've got the Federal Reserve this week. And that's just what we know about. I'm sure there's going to be some mortgage rate cuts this week as well from lenders once we see what happens with these big Bank of England meeting and the Federal Reserve meeting. So let me know, what do you think is going to happen this week? Are the Fed going to cut? Are the Bank of England going to cut? Also, let's have some comments on what do you think about this data from Rightmove. It's interesting to see sellers, new sellers at least, are being quite aggressive with wanting to get maximum price for their property. It shows again, I don't feel that they're desperate to sell. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Do smash like, do subscribe, do check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.